Congratulations first off.
Thank you.
Kind of tell us how the past couple of days have unfolded for you?
Yeah, well, shoot, I didn't, it was kind of surprised that Courtney was leaving, honestly. We thought we were almost about passed through that time of the year, but what a great opportunity for him. And when Coach approached me about doing it, I was nervous and excited, and, it's a great opportunity, and I really appreciate Coach believing in me and what we're doing, or got started offensively a year ago, and we're excited to kind of continue it.
You said you were nervous. How come?
Oh, I was nervous a year ago. Well, a little over a year ago at this time, I was sitting here doing the same thing, and I was like the duck, right, sitting on top of the water, and underneath your feet are going 100 miles an hour. I think anytime you get a new opportunity or change your role in any team, or change jobs or whatever, there's always a certain amount of nervousness and uncertainty. But super excited about our offensive staff and what we have the opportunity to do.
Was this a goal to?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I've been the offense coordinator, head coach for honestly most of my adult life. I've been a head coach more than I've been an assistant coach, and so when I came here last year, I was really excited about coaching my group of guys, and really enjoyed that. And we talked a little bit at the end of the season. Everybody kind of had their exit meeting or exit season meeting with Coach, and I miss calling offensive plays. It was something that you kind of get used to, and you sometimes take for granted or enjoy. But I wouldn't say it was a goal. No, I definitely appreciate the opportunity, but I wouldn't necessarily say that was a goal of mine.
You do have experience calling plays, but not coaching the offensive line, is that going to be hard?
Again, it's a little bit like when I went to Rocky 9 years ago or 10 years ago now, or whatever it was. I went there as the offensive line coach and offensive coordinator, and then transitioned and still coached the O-line for a couple of years. But at that level, it's kind of wherever the pieces all fit together. You don't go out and truly hire a staff. You kind of take what you can get and put the pieces in the best place. And but not coaching the offensive line, I missed it, and like I told our guys when Coach made the announcement the other night, I'll never be far from the O-line room, just because that's who I am and that's what I enjoy, and so that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Take stock of this offense you're inheriting here. Kind of made some strides at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
What are the next steps you see you guys need to make on that side of the ball?
Well, I thought we ran the ball effectively. That's not to, it's not to say that we definitely cannot improve running the ball, because we can. Watching year-end cut-ups and stuff like that, there's so many things we can do better in the run game. That being said, you can't be one-dimensional at any level, and definitely not at this level. And so we need to be able to throw the ball, not throw 50 or 60 times a game. That's not who we are. That's not who our head coach is, and that's not our plan to win. But we need to throw the ball effectively. We need to be able to make the defense defend the 53.5 wide and 120 deep. And so, that's one of the things definitely that we need to improve on and we need to work on. And obviously, everybody that watches Montana State football is aware of that. And so that'll be a big emphasis this spring.
You mentioned your time calling plays at Rocky. You had some really prolific offenses, some really prolific quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So are you having to adjust maybe your philosophy a little bit to fit the overall direction of what this program wants to be?
I don't think so at all, because I think, whether it was Lake Gibson High School, where we had a quarterback named Matt Grothe, or Kathleen High School, where we had a guy named Dominic Davis who played in the NFL and is still in the CFL, or at Rocky with Casey Peters or Chase White or Bryce Baker. The one thing I really believe, if you're going to be successful on offense, you better build it around what your quarterback does well, because everything is quarterback driven. I don't know if anybody in this room can name an offense they think is good without a quarterback that they think is pretty darn good. And so, obviously Chris was a young guy last year, and that being said, he is a prolific athlete. I wouldn't say he is, a prolific quarterback at this stage, but he can do some things that are going to give and have given defensive coaches in the league nightmares. And so we need to take what he does well and build around that, and yet at the same time improve his deficiencies. And be able to throw the ball. And I think the perception of Chris is that he can't throw the ball, and I don't really believe that at all. I didn't coach quarterbacks, and I wasn't not 7-on-7, but I sat in the room and watched the film, and I really believe like he's going to be able to throw it good enough when he understands who he's throwing it to and when that thing's got to come out, and the rhythm and the timing of the whole thing that comes with experience. But I'm excited about it. I think that we've got, the one thing I'll say about, our staff in general is, you talk to buddies and there's nightmare stories of places that, boy, I just hate going to work. And that's not how it is here. We've got great coaches. It's fun to come, literally every day I love to come into work. And, our offensive staff, you got Denarius and Michael Petrie, who've been part of, some of the most prolific offenses in Montana State history. And you got Matt Miller, who, that's really all you need to say, Matt Miller and Boise State, and, BJ, who's called offensive plays, and our intern, Joe Dunning, who played at Carroll College on defense and coached for Mike Van Diest, who knows a little bit about defense. And so, we've got a fun room, and the thing is that this isn't my offense, or this isn't Courtney Messingham's offense that we, exactly what we did a year ago, or exactly what we did at Rocky, or this is Montana State's offense and what we do well, and what we can be successful with, and what gives us the best chance to win.
That said, will there be some carryover from last year's?
Absolutely. I think that was part of the reason that I got the opportunity is you don't want to start all over every single year, and so definitely there's gonna be some carryover. We're gonna, I really think streamline and simplify, and the one thing I want our guys to be able to do is run off the football regardless of the position with confidence and be able to play fast, whether they're a 4-5 guy, a 4-6 guy. I want them to be able to play that fast, snap in and snap out. So do things that we help will give them the ability to play fast.
When did you guys know that Courtney was leaving? You said it was kind of caught you by surprise.
Yeah, I found out at the end of last week, or I can't remember, Friday, Saturday, somewhere in there. So
was it pretty immediate that Choate offered you the job, or was there?
When he called me, we talked, and to be honest with you, I was like, he made some small talk for a minute and then talked to me about that, and the next 5 minutes I could not tell you a word he said because my mind was racing 100 miles an hour. But he said, I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow and let's talk. And we talked the next day, and we came in and sat down a little bit the next day. And from the opening phone call, that's kind of the direction it seemed like he was leaning. But it wasn't until a few days ago that I was 100% sure. Of course, I'm always the pessimist, maybe.
So it took you a couple of days to kind of mull it over and consider if it was the best fit for you and the rest of the team?
Yeah, I would say both ways, if that makes sense. Obviously, coach has got a big responsibility, and so, he needs to do what's best for, it's great if he could do what's best for Brian Armstrong, but he needs to do what's best for Montana State football first and foremost. So,
how does being an offensive line coach maybe make somebody a good fit for an offensive coordinator?
Man, I'll tell you, we were watching some cutouts from last year, and I'm telling Denarius, that guy's got to get the ball out of his hand, man. Get going, get that thing going. But no, I don't know. I think offensive. I think ball plays are ball plays, and I don't know. I think with what we do offensively, maybe the run game's a little bit more in the foresight or the front of the deal, and so that might be advantageous. But I don't know if I can say that's a big deal one way or the other.
Personnel-wise, what do you think of just the overall unit? You talked about Chris Murray, but just the fact that you have 4 starters coming back up front and a lot of guys on the outside as well.
Yeah, I'm excited about our guys up front. I really am. I think, everybody knew what JP was, and I was excited about JP. I thought he continued to get better as the year went on, and I think as a unit we got better. So I'm really excited about those guys up front. I think the big thing is, with the exception of running back, we bring most everybody back. And, when you're 4-7, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? But, I like our personnel. I don't know that I would say, hey, we're the most talented team in the conference, but I don't think we're the least talented. And, I just think it's all about putting guys in a position where they can be successful. And so that's kind of what the goal is, let's give our guys things to do that they can do and be successful and be confident about it.
What do you want to see from Chris and from the whole offense this spring?
Well, first and foremost, we're going to be physical. I mean, if we have to hang our hat on one thing, it's going to be physical, and everybody thinks of that as a run game deal, and I do as well. But, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the ex-receiver out there, you better be physical. When it's your turn to be physical, you better be able to do it. And so tough, physical style of play. I think Chris Daenerys has done a great job in the short time he's been here, with the maturation process on and off the field. And so we need him to kind of step into a leadership role. And again, we can only do what he knows, if that makes sense. And so last year, in the last 6, 7, 5, I don't remember how many weeks it was, but, that poor kid was drinking through a fire hose. And so, this spring we can slow it down a little bit. We can put things in his wheelhouse that he can do and let him do them over and over and over again so that he can get some confidence. I think you saw even the last couple games when, we gave him some things he could do and he got to repeat those things, in same but different. He's a pretty prolific guy.
Postseason interview, just kind of how you guys had to revamp some stuff. So what can you say to us about the progress you guys did make, and how challenging was that when you kind of had to start over when Chris did take over as the starter?
I don't know that I would say start over exactly, but really find the things that we thought he did well, and really what Chris is, and I didn't meet with him every day, so it's really unfair for me to say what he, didn't know or knew or whatever, but I can tell you this, he's a pretty quiet kid. I mean, he's not super vocal, and so, that's one of the things we talk about the goals for the offseason. Not that he's ever going to be a screamer and a yeller, I don't think, but he's got to command the offensive side of the football. So that's one of the things we're working on. But, I think Courtney, however you want to say it, started to figure out, really what he could grasp and had grasped and what he could do well. Because, one thing besides throwing the ball that we have to do better is take care of the football. We were god-awful at take care of the football last year, and it cost us several games. And, that's, the number one rule of offensive football is don't beat yourself. And so we've got to put our guys in a position, again, where they can be confident. I think when they know what they're doing and they're confident that because a lot of those weren't, ball security, fumble things. They were, I don't understand what I'm doing and I'm putting the ball in the wrong place, or I'm not, you know what I mean? It was paralysis by analysis kind of stuff. And so we need to put guys in positions where that ain't going to happen.
Where does the improvement in the passing game start, you think? Like, is it a confidence issue or just knowing?
I think knowing. I mean, understanding, and not just the quarterback, but the wide receivers. Hey, this is what I'm doing, and not only this is what I'm supposed to do, but this is why I'm supposed to do it, and this is how it works conceptually and big picture. And so I think that's where it starts, with repetition, and again, the more you rep something, the more Chris is going to be comfortable with the guy he's throwing it to, and vice versa. And there's just a chemistry that develops.
Building that physical identity on offense, is that easier with the brand of football that they're playing on defense and the way you guys are going to practice?
Oh, absolutely. Coaches plan to win. I don't think it says anywhere score 100 points a game. It's play great defense, number one. And then part of playing great defense is not putting them in bad situations. And so, that being said, we're not anybody's little brother. We're not taking a back seat to anybody. But we're going to be a dang good offense within our head coach's plan to win.